Good evening to one and all. A warm welcome to 63rd International Workshop on Life Lessons from John Locke. Golden Jubilee Year of NEHU, May 2022 to May 2023 International Workshop Series, a series of 100 programs every Saturday 5 to 7 p.m. Look up, aim high, nation first, self next. Jointly organized by Internal Quality Assurance like IQAC, Northeastern Hill University, NEHU, Shillong, Meghalaya, and Indian Society for Training and Development, ISTD, Shillong Chapter, Shillong, Meghalaya, in collaboration with the Department of Philosophy and IQAC, Moran College affiliated to Dibrugarh University, MORANHAT, ASSAM, and Department of Philosophy, Sri Venkateswara University, SVU, Tirupati, Andhra Pradesh. A warm welcome to today's keynote speaker, Professor P. Chennaiah sir, my guru, collaborator, Professor Prabhasankar Sukla sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Northeastern Hill University, Professor Raja Reddy sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sri Venkateswara University, Dr. Nagarajasri Madam, Dr. Vijay Bhaskar sir, SVU Computer Center, Professor Mithali Kaur ma'am, Principal Moran College, Dr. Rajendra Prasad Bhattukur sir, IQAC Coordinator, Moran College, Dr. Srutasini Gogoi Madam, Head Department of Philosophy and Workshop Coordinator, Professor B.S. Mipun sir, Chairman ISTD Shillong Chapter, Professor S. Dikshit sir, Director, IQAC NEHU Shillong, Meghalaya. A warm welcome to today's program's 63rd International Workshop on Life Lessons from John Locke. Professor Chennaiah sir and myself, we interacted. Even Bala Gangadhara Tilak, also motivated by John Locke, Swarajyam na Janma Hakku. I learned in my Telugu language during my childhood. Freedom. So the freedom is my right. So what type of writers, philosophers were really wonderful in the 17th century itself, 300 years back. The way they written, the way they motivated, the way they thought to the globe is wonderful, unimaginable. So, n number of things, life lessons are there from John Locke, even in education, philosophy, and psychology, n number of irrespective of subjects. They mentioned when I interacted with one Kasi teacher is also really inspired by listening to John Locke. We are going to listen uncovered things uncovered by Professor Chennaiah sir, untold stories and information regarding John Locke. I am also enthusiastically waiting to listen more and more from Professor Chennaiah sir, because whenever we are reading any philosophical writings written by philosophers, those things are not testable. Very difficult to understand because of the language and because of the way they are expressing. So, but Professor Chennai sir has both philosophy and education background, pedagogy, andragogy, heterogogy, how to teach, how to learn, how to convey information, coming down to the level of the participants and known language and life-related issues. These are the best methods to reach the people. Communication itself is a common, so it is understandable for each and everyone. Unfortunately, many philosophers, even though their thoughts are extraordinary but unable to reach. But we are grateful to Professor Chennai sir going to share the philosophical thoughts of John Locke, what type of life lessons we can learn from John Locke with this. A warm welcome to all the noble participants. So sorry for the delay because of the 14th International Conference and the system and some technical issues, even though we are trying our best to overcome all the issues. Now, national Vande Mataram. Always we have a national anthem and the Vande Mataram. With Vande Mataram, really, Professor, thanks to Professor Chennai sir. Sir is the person suggested to start with Vande Mataram. Sir has a habit to listen radio programs also. They are always All India Radio. They start with Vande Mataram.
शीतला शुभ्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनी पुल्लकुसुमित द्रुमदलशोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुरभाषिणी सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम्.
Recalling the Bala Gangadhar Tilak, freedom is my birthright. Thank you, sir, for allowing me to organize on this topic. Now over to Professor Chinnai, sir, for wonderful keynote address. Over to you, sir.
Respectable coordinator, Dr. Amareswar, who is the organizer for this program, and who led the French Revolution, the American Revolution. So Jean-Jacques Rousseau got inspiration from John Locke. So USA got independence in 1789. Before that, so John Locke has given a great inspiration. He born in England, he is a great philosopher. He said, the end of law is not to abolish or restrain, but to preserve and enlarge freedom. So law is essential to prevent disorders, destructions, evil things, to protect freedom. He is telling, all mankind being all equal and independent, no one ought to harm another in his life, health, liberty, and possessions. So all are equal by birth. All are independent. Nobody has a right to harm a person's life or a health or a liberty or a possession. So he said, a revolt is the right of people. So he has coined a law, beautiful law, law of contract. He said, the government has a limited power. The government should form on the consent of the people, majority people, more than some majority. If the people have no consent or a appreciation or a understanding on the government, they have every right to throw. The government is sovereign. The government has no unlimited powers. They should work on the basis of the interest, blessings, developments of the people. So they have to work very carefully. So he said about a human understanding. The improvement of understanding is for two ends. First, our own increase of knowledge. Second, to enable us to deliver that knowledge to others. So if you want to get understanding capacity, first you have to do two things. One is you have to accumulate more knowledge. You have to develop knowledge. Then you have to communicate your knowledge to others. If you are developing your knowledge and you are communicating your knowledge, then you will get more understanding capacity. So here, myself and Dr. Amareswar also doing the same. So Amareswar also developing, learning, knowing many things and communicating very effectively. So for anybody, before telling anything, one has to learn many things. If you start communicating without learning, then you won't get sufficient knowledge. If you won't get sufficient knowledge, you won't find fluency and the flow of thoughts. That's why learning is the most important according to John Locke. So what worries you, masters you? So if you are fearful, if you are angry, if you are sadness, if you are unhappy relating with any feelings, they will dominate you. That's why through understanding, avoid all types of impure feelings. He said, the human mind is a tabula rasa, clean state. By birth, your mind is a pure, just like a white paper without having any ink, a sky without having any clouds, a black board without having any letters, a white paper without having any letters, a mirror without having any dust, just like a tabula rasa. Use the word tabula, clean state, slate. So in the early stage, in the childhood, while we were in the school, we take a slate to know the alphabet of any language. Then in the slate, we don't find any impurities. In the same level, we have many impurities if you accumulate on the basis of learning. Otherwise, our mind is a very pure. So he's telling the life is a eternal. It has no beginning and it has no ending. It is a voyage without any goal. So here he's telling self soul entering in the body is a life. Soul staying in the human body is a life. Soul leaving from the human body is a death. Your soul was there before your birth. Your soul will be there after your death. You have many births and many deaths. Don't confine your life to births and deaths. Your unlimited births and deaths are small episodes of your eternity of your life. So your soul is a permanent, it is a eternal, it has no beginning and ending. So here in the John Locke is telling, you have entered in the body, that is a birth, you are leaving from the body, that is a death. But after taking another birth, another body, the cosmic law is taking consideration on the basis of your merits and demerits, your actions. On the basis of your actions in the present life, in the future body entry, these actions may consider. This is using reward and punishment. So if you have done good things in the future life, you may get blessings on lifeline, lifestyle. If you have done very bad things in the future, you have to suffer. So he's telling actions are most important in the present life. Then why be careful? So he's telling, I have always thought the actions of men are the best interpreters of their thoughts. So he's telling, human thought is responsible for good actions and bad actions. If you want to happiness, you have to communicate, you have to develop good thoughts. So here it is, your mind is just like a garden, pure garden. If you sow seeds for beautiful fragrance flowers, then there is a scope. You can show seeds for good flowers. At the same time, you can show seeds for weeds. They are not useful. Flowers are useful for fragrance. In the same manner, you have mind, that is a garden. If you develop good thoughts, good things, then your mind will be beautiful. If you develop bad thoughts, bad things, your mind will be ugly, very bad. It may contribute to very destruction. That's why for our thoughts, for our feelings, for our actions, our mind is the source. That's why you have a soul, you have a self. Be careful, moment to moment, watch your thoughts without having any judgment, comparison, liking, disliking. not having any interpretation, positive, negative. So don't say anything. Watch very carefully. Then your thought will be very perfect. Then your words will be very clean. You may live very perfectly. So your mind is a tabula rasa, it's a clean state. If you accumulate good thoughts, your life will be very beautiful. If your thoughts are bad, then your life will be very bad. Thoughts are most important in your life. They are playing vital place. That's why he's telling, be careful on your thoughts. So he's telling, fortitude means the strength of mind is the guardian, guard and the support of other virtues. So here happiness, joy, love, friendship, love, innocence, helping. So all the virtues. So if you have a strength mind, courageous mind, pure mind, that mind will contribute a lot for your life. If you are not careful relating with your things, then there may be a destruction. That's why he's telling, he has given 3 basic rights for human beings: right of life, right of liberty, right of property. These are most important for every human being. These are the basic rights of human being: right of birth, right of liberty, right of property. So here, all wealth is the product of labor. He's telling, be careful, be hard work, do something on the basis of your work, develop something, earn something, don't be lazy. So he is telling, so with meeting people, with reading, learning, so having nature, so all types of, so here we have a learning basic skills. So here we get knowledge through reading and listening. Through speaking and writing, we may communicate our skills. So here he is telling, observation, awareness, persuasion, learning, reading, thinking, evaluating, these are most important in the education. One should be very careful. He is telling, man has a basic nature of education. He has a constant characteristics of observation, awareness, watching. They are the natural abilities and qualities of every human being: watching, observation, awareness, looking. We have to respect our body abilities. We have to move with the hints of the inner soul. Then our life will be very pleasant. So John Locke is telling, where there is no judge on earth, the appeal lies to God in heaven. So here, if you are not getting any justice in the life, so you may get justice in the God level on the basis of the law of action. The states of nature has a law of nature to govern it, which obliges everyone and reason, which is that law, teaches all mankind who will but consult it, that bring all equal and independent. No one ought to harm another in his life, health, liberty and person. So here you have a natural law. You have to be very careful, otherwise there is a danger for your life. So the death of evil is a much more forcible principle of human actions than the prospect of good. So if we see very ferocious, violent, war, destructive behaviors in the human life, they may affect more than compassion, sharing, loving, and all types of things. So here John Locke is telling, government should be consent of the governed. So here government means those who are people ruling. So governed means people who are getting administration from the people. So here you have to very carefully, is telling, to love our neighbor is ourselves is such a truth for regulating human society, that by that one ought to determine all the cases in the soul of humanity in the social life. So he's telling, You have to love your neighbors, friends, relatives. Love is the most important. If you express love in the behavior, it may regulate the human actions. You may get more happiness and everything. If you are not in a position to express love, then there is a danger for your existence. So here, John Locke is telling, we are born into perfect freedom. We are naturally free. We are free to do what we want, when we want, how we want, within the boundaries of the laws of nature, law of nature. So we have a total freedom. So what to do, what not to do. So when we have to do all the things, we have freedom, but you have to take consent from the law of nature. So here we have mountains, trees and everything. In the modern time, we are human beings are creating pollutions, air pollution, water pollution, sound pollution, ecological imbalance, ozone layer depletion, greenhouse effect, global warming. All things are we are doing. We have a freedom. That's why we are doing. But we are responsible for global warming, for temperature rising, for melting of Arctic, Antarctic layers, for filling the oceans. So the water level is increasing in the oceans. Who is responsible? You have a freedom, but you have a responsibility. But you are not using your responsibility. You are not taking. You are doing irresponsible. That's why you are facing consequences. So here, John Locke is telling you are a free, absolutely free, but you are responsible for nature. Don't do any harmful things in the nature. If you do any harmful things in the nature, you may get consequences from the nature. That's why do carefully, follow the law of action, follow the law of balance. Otherwise, you may face so many consequences in the life. Otherwise, there is a danger for your existence. So here you should be very careful. Otherwise, there is a destruction in the human being. So every facet of human being characterized is something observed, perceived, learned via the senses. He is telling. So here you have a sense organs, you have a reason, you have to watch very carefully through sense organs you are getting. So here in the John Locke philosophy we find man is a free, but he should be very responsible. So human mind is just like a tabula rasa. It is a clean state. You can use your mind for positive senses, for positive purposes or negative purposes. If you have acted in this life with the negative things, you will face these consequences in the future life. So you have no birth and death. So your soul has no birth and death. It is a voyage. It is a traveling. So your present life is a episode of your eternity of life. So at present you do good things. So in the government side, man has a total freedom of life, freedom and property. But you should not use your legislature and everything to oppress, to suppress, to destroy human being. So the government has a limited power. The government has to use powers on the basis of law, not any other means. That's why give. So these ideas have given most important to Balagangadhar Tilak in the Jean-Jacques Rousseau, George Washington. So he has created great influence on the American Revolution, French Revolution. He is the great source for many revolutions. He is a father of liberalism. So man should be free. He is not a slave to anybody. The government should not coerce people. Government should be a limited body. The citizens have extraordinary powers. The citizens have a great revolting capacity. They may throw any states. That's why the human being has a great abilities. The human being has to develop more things. He has to live comfortably here in the world. So love should be there in the human being life. Understanding should be there. Protection of human rights are there. Give respect for all human beings. So avoid the suppression of all other beings. So you have to create a limitation of the governments. So you have to revolt against governments when they are doing destructive things in individuals. So these are central issues we find in the John Locke philosophy. I concluded this speech, Amresh sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I am requesting our noble participant to interact with. Over to the participants. Please. Deeplata Gupta madam, Yaddanapudi madam.
So here, so we have a great concept called enlightenment. So enlightenment means a pure state of mind. So here in the John Locke philosophy also we find tabula rasa, clean state, that we find through meditation. That is a state of enlightenment in the great philosophies. So he's a philosopher of great purity. Amare sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Please, our participants, we have sufficient time. Please interact with Professor Chennai, sir. Anyone, anything you can ask.
So Hemagar is available on the line.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very good evening to Professor Chinai sir and Amar sir.
Ma'am,
I
please,
Yes,
please.
Yes, sir. I wish you
Welcome.
on the very auspicious day of International
Welcome.
Human Rights Day, sir. Very well explained about the English philosopher, the physician, and the political theorist John Locke, sir, whose ideas
Yes.
have helped us to lay the foundation for enlightenment and thinkers.
Yes.
As rightly what you pointed out, he showed us the relationship between the labor and the property. That is the creation of the
Yes.
wealth, the creation of the money as well as and its impact on the wealth. So though he was a
Yes.
popular American philosopher, his work has
He's a
balanced.
British philosopher.
British
Yeah,
philosopher.
yes, British philosopher.
Philosopher.
Yes, sir. I'm
But I will tell you, so before moving, so he contributed a great impact for French Revolution and American Revolution,
Yes,
but
sir.
he born in England.
Yes.
But we may consider he's an American philosopher, he's a French philosopher because he influenced a lot for French Revolution and American Revolution. So your answer also right, but I am telling on the basis of birth. So please move.
Yes, yes, sir. What I mean to say is his work has balanced both the capitalistic as well as the socialistic ideas. Not
Yes.
in our Indian countries, but in the Western countries, we find this kind of capitalism and socialism, which was very much prevailing in those long back days. He was also called as the father of the liberalism, what you were just referring to, sir. He was often called
Yes.
the founder of the school of thought known as the British empiricism. So the modern
Yes.
theories of limited liberalism government and his ideas, natural law, the social contract, religious toleration, etc., were all very, very important towards the revolution. The Enlightenment values to this recognition were also very famous as per the law, sir. Thank you so much for enlightening us with such a great philosopher.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
Very good. Very good. Very nice. But through your good expression, I shared two aspects. So here in the John Locke's philosophy, we find social contract theory on the law of nature. So on the law of human beings. So here he said, the state has a limited power. The sovereignty has a limited power. If the state and sovereignty should not coerce people on the basis of different means, but they have to operate law. But here he said about the law of nature. So here in the world we have mountains, trees, animals, all things are there. So you are creating various types of things. You are born free, you are loving free, you have total freedom, but you are responsible here. So if you do harmful things in the world, you are responsible for your actions. If you are if you have done right things, you may get rewards from that. Be careful, follow law of nature. So live with the simplicity. Don't do harmful harmful things in the nature. If you destroy the nature, means your chemicals, the mountains, the trees, the oceans, and all the things in the nature will respond to you. The nature will destroy you. That's why be careful, follow law of nature. Another he said about the social contract theory. So here he's telling the relationship between the state and the people. The state should function on the consent of the people. If the consent is not there for state or a government, the people have a right to revolt against the government and dethrow the government. So here we have a relationship. So here John Locke is telling there is no unlimited power for this government. So they have a limited. But the more power is for the people. The people have a right to revolt, to dethrone, to develop. So he has given more powers to people. These aspects have created the democratic governments and the democratic revolutions of French and American. So these aspects are there in our Indian constitution also.
Yes, yes, sir.
So thank you, Hema Garu, for your nice words. I have given some aspects in this connection.
Please, any other?
So have you got something?
Yes, sir. The most important thing what we have to take from his sayings are all individuals are equal in the sense that they are born with certain inalienable natural rights. That is.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
They are God-given rights to us. They are God-given rights to us because by virtue of our birth itself we are getting, and which can never be taken or given away. So these are that is what he has told us about the natural rights. He believed also, he was as a social psychologist, he was an outspoken supporter of equal rights within the governed society. That is the natural rights of the man, right to life, right to liberty, property, and he articulated every government purpose, that is they have to secure these rights for its national. That is what he has given importance in his theories, sir. Thank you so much for enlightening us with these theories.
Yes, in this connection, he has said about the state of the mind, tabula rasa, clean state.
Yes.
At the same time, he's telling you have a right to life, right to liberty, right to property. Property right, liberty right is there, right to life is there. So these rights are there. But be careful. So you are responsible here. Don't do harmful things. If you do harmful things, you will get punishments here and hereafter also. So he said about the God. So God is a more powerful. He is a omniscient, omnipotent. He is beyond all the things. He will give punishment and reward. So God is taking more care in watching all affairs of all living creatures of the world. So these things also we find in the John Locke philosophy. Hema Garu, thank you.
Sir. Well said. Noted, sir. I have
Yes, sir. Any other, please?
Yes, good evening.
Pavan sir.
This is Deeplata Gupta.
From Lucknow, Deeplata Gupta, madam, please.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am. Please, ma'am.
Dr. Deeplata Gupta, welcome.
Yes, sir. Sir, I want to say something about Human Rights Day. That we have celebrated from long time Human Rights Day, but still there as I don't feel either humanity is present or not, because in our education system, we always teach our students that humanity is one of value. But it is, I think my question is, why still humanity is not fine in our in this generation? Are so many problems related to humanity still present? Either we have celebrated Human Rights Day so many times.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. So,
Yes, sir.
so I understood your question, Dr. Deepalata Gupta ji. So here we have so many problems. We have so many human rights. Why we are living with the present negative condition in the world? What are the root cause? So here, so human being means human being, lady or a gent, human being as a body, human being as a mind, so thoughts, reasoning, human being as a heart, feelings. So human beings are getting knowledge through sense organs, eye, ear, nose, tongue, skin, through 5 organs. They are getting knowledge. They have a soul. It has an intuition. So human beings are accumulating good thoughts and bad thoughts. So if human beings perform their thoughts with the help of awareness and awareness and watchfulness, they may do good things. They may protect the rights of the other. So here, great philosophies relating with men and women. So men is a 60% woman and men is a 40% woman. Woman is a 60% woman and 40% men. So here in the men, more psychological and physical dominating conditions are there. That's why is a man. In the women, more dominating conditions are there in the women. That's why women. But here, these are women and men are equally two wheels in the progeny in the universe. So all the women and men equal sense in the two-wheeler. The two persons are taking humanity to the future. That's why human beings have to give more freedom to our heart. In the heart, we find negative emotions and positive emotions, jealousy, hatred, sadness, worry, evil, all the things in the negative sense. In the positive sense, love, affection, tenderness, joy, compassion, good feelings. You start expressing all feelings. We don't find any violence in the world. We may share everything in the world. So here, if you have a clean mind, clean thoughts, clean heart, then we don't find inequalities. For that we need a choiceless awareness outlook relating with our body, mind, and heart. We have to watch our internal mechanisms, thoughts, and feelings. Then we may clean our mind. We may do our good feelings in the heart. We may develop good thoughts in the mind. We may operate good thoughts and good feelings in the society. We may create. For that, we need a capacity of watching. That is called meditation. If you start the quality or the skill of awareness, then we may solve various types of problems in the world. So, Deepalata Gupta ji.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we say try to inculcate in our student that all-round development. So we already teach them that there must be coordination between cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains. So am I audible,
Yes.
sir?
Yes, it is true.
Yes.
It is a technical language.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Tell me.
Namaste, namaste, Pawan sir.
John Locke, what is the relation between what are our Indian constitution? John Locke and say that what is the relation between education and psychology? If any emotions that
What is the question, Amresh sir?
Indian
So you have to ask direct, sir. Your question is not clear. What is your question? What is your question?
Pawan sir, ask directly.
what is the and way of
Sir.
Amresh sir.
Pavan sir, you are not audible, sir.
Yes.
Pavan sir, you are not audible.
So is the relation between? Okay, I am asking, sir. Audible, sir. I'm audible.
Please, sir.
What
Please,
is
sir. Continue,
the
sir.
relation between? Sir, what is the relation between? What is the relation between education and way of living life? Any emotions,
Okay.
whatever it may be.
Sir.
Whatever it may be. Indian
Okay.
philosophy.
Education and life.
Explain
Not
them
only
your
Indian
words, sir.
philosophy, but see here our subject is a John Locke, and I will say according to John Locke. So here we are connecting with the main. We are not going with the outside the topic. We have to move with the road. So here the topic is a John Locke. You said you asked the question, the relationship between education and way of life. So here education is a learning. Education is a awakening of intelligence. So education means developing a body, good healthy body, good mind. Good mind means a mind with the good thoughts, a good heart. Good heart means a heart with the good feelings. So if the body is ill health, if body is a damage, it is not a good body. If the mind is a negative thoughts, negative emotions, then you won't find any good heart and good mind. So the negative mind, negative thoughts and negative emotions may create a destruction in the life. That's why here education means developing good thought, good feeling, good body, good soul, good life. So developing skills for body, mind, heart and everything, all round development. So social, all levels. So way of life means if you develop, if you learn many good things, good values, moral things, skills, so relating with the life. What do you mean by life? If you learn the art of living, what do you mean by art of living? Living moment to moment without any postponement, living at present. Art of living means living without having any past and future, concentrating on the present. Live on here and now. Don't remembering your past and the future. Concentrating in the present life, just like a listening of your music. So while we are listening a music, a classical or a Karnataka or Hindustani or a instrumental, if you love any music, you won't remember anything. Just like you have to concentrate at present. So if you have a good education, good understanding, your life reflects in the way of life. So so here we need according to John Locke, his tell life is a very beautiful one. Here you can live very pleasantly. Your mind is a pure. Don't develop negative thoughts in your mind. So have a positive thoughts. If you develop negative thoughts in the mind, you may be responsible in the future life and the present life. You may get unhappiness and punishments. That's why love your neighbors, love your friends. In the life, you should be very careful in the giving, sharing. So here he's telling, have a night education to control the atrocities of governments, violation of human rights by the government, have a knowledge of all things. So here right education means knowing your body, mind, soul and the world. So developing all skills in our life. Then way of living means living with the peacefulness, living with fragrance, happiness. For that, so there is a relationship between right education and right life. Education is not good, then we don't find right living. So learn good things, have a arts and laws of nature. Here we have a laws of so we have a law of change. So here in the world, law of change means it is a momentary, it is a flux. Every moment we find change. So law of awareness, you have to aware moment to moment. So here you have a law of thought. If you operate negative thoughts, you may get destruction. Law of words, if you talk negatively, you may get consequences. You have to talk pleasantly. So here actions, if you do negative things, so if you have a gun, if you fire people may destroy, people may get a distraction. So your action is responsible for your action. So if you know or you don't know, you are responsible for your thoughts, you are responsible for your words, you are responsible for your actions. That's why you need a right education, means education of awareness. So here education means carefulness. Carefulness protects your life. Negligence destroys your life. Negligence punishes your life. So here education means awareness without having any negligence. If you operate in your life with awareness, you may get fulfillment of living. Amresh sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Okay, please.
Sir, I am Yashpal, sir. Sir, John Locke
please welcome.
John Locke is followed
Welcome.
Indian philosophy, sir. That karma siddhanta, whatever
Yes.
you do, good things and bad things, that affects. And
Yes.
follow the nature will always gives whatever we gives, and what is
Yes.
that Indian philosophy, sir.
Yes. So here, in Indian philosophy, we have a law of karma that is called the law of action. So here, the law of karma acts with the help of law of balance. So the more balance you are, life gives more to you. The less balance you have, life will less to you. So for example, if you are taking a very tasty food, if you take unlimited food, there is a danger. You need water. If you take limited water, there is no problem. You need money. If you earn money with a balanced manner, there is no problem. If you earn money with a thefting or dacoity or murder or a different thing with the extreme money, there is a danger. So if anybody earns money with a bribery, with a corruption, with a mass things, there is a danger. That's why law of balance is most important in the law of action. At the same time, here in the Indian philosophy, even John Locke also saying, he is also closely related to Indian philosophy. The mind is just like a pure thing. So if you do bad things on the basis of your mind, you may be responsible. So here, in Indian philosophy, and John Locke also saying, relating with your thoughts, relating with your words, relating with your actions, relating with your behavior, you are responsible. Only you preserve good thoughts. You talk only pleasant words. Relating with the truth, in Indian classical philosophy, there's speak truth. Don't speak truth which is unpleasant. Speak truth which is pleasant. If you have no truth, don't say anything. You have to talk with only truth with a pleasant thing. Don't talk truth with unpleasantness. Be careful. So if you want to act anything, do good things. If you have no capacity to do good things, don't do anything. If you do bad things, you are responsible for your sorrow, for our imprisonment, for death, life sentence, for evil things. So action gives result. That's why if you have your thoughts, be careful, watchful. Before releasing your thoughts from your mind through your mouth, through your hand. Through your hand means action, through your mouth means words. You should be very careful. So here in the Indian philosophy, your actions, words are responsible. Be careful. For future life, present life, your good actions are the sources. So don't do any bad things. This we find relating with action. In the relating with the nature, be careful relating with the nature. You have air, water, sound, sky, earth, everything. Here you have other living creatures. Don't destroy any other creatures. They have their own rights. So the mountains, the trees, the animals, the birds, they are sisters and brothers of human being life. So we are not isolated beings. So we have a various types of animals. They are our brothers and sisters. In the nature, we have interdependence. But if you kill, if you destroy other creatures and other living creatures, they will give reactions. That's why be careful. Don't destroy nature. Have a harmony. Love nature. Protect the rights of the living creature. Then your life will be very beautiful. These things we find in philosophy. Yes, Paul, doctor.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you for your good question.
Thanks, sir. Okay.
Any other?
Welcome. You are
Any
from
other?
which place, yes, Paul?
Mumbai.
Sir,
You are from which place?
I'm from Hyderabad, sir.
Oh, very nice. Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Any other, please? Sir, I think if there is no question, I can. Sir, please briefly explain about John Locke's social contrast theory.
So here,
Sir.
John Locke says, society is the relationship. Society is the relationship between people, government, and nature. So here the contract theory is relating with state, government, and the people. So here the government has no unlimited powers, extraordinary powers. The government should not act illegal means, illegal brutal things on the people. So the government has to act on the basis of laws. So the government should function on the basis of the consent of the people. If there is no majority people's consent, there is no scope for functioning. So here he is telling revolt is the right of people. So if the government is doing harmful things, they may dethrone, they may question, they may alter. So here it is relating with government and the people. People have more rights. So people should, government should take care of the rights and the ambitions of the people. Otherwise, the people may dethrone. This social contract theory is one of the basis for French Revolution and the American Revolution. These aspects also there in our Indian Constitution also. So here in our Indian Constitution, in the preamble, we the people of India resolved the Indian Constitution preamble. This sovereign, republic, democratic, so secular, socialistic. So socialism, secularism, republic, democracy, sovereignty. So people have resolved for ourselves. We have decided. Yeah, here this John Locke aspect we find in the Indian Constitution preamble's expression also. People-centered. This social contract theory is a people-centered theory. People have more power. The government has no power. The government should not become dictator. So these things we find in the social contract theory, Amresh sir.
Thank you, sir. Wonderful keynote address and discussion, sir. With your permission, may I go for presentation?
Please move, Amresh sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So good evening to Professor Chennai sir, keynote speaker, my guru, collaborator, and noble participants. Life lessons from John Locke. On the special today, International Human Rights Day, John Locke is the right person to know and learn life lessons from him. Just like Bala Gangadhara Tilak, he also mentioned so many good things and rights and natural rights. The outline of the presentation, introduction, learning outcome, and conclusion, the only one learning outcome, learning life lessons from John Locke. Before going to, as usual, for our original topic, I would like to share two videos. You overcome obstacles in your success. How to overcome. So this is very, very important. Professor Chennai sir rightly mentioned many things. Be like a nature, do meditation, watch your thoughts. There are n number of things. It is our duty to follow in our life what you are expecting. So just like a thought, what you thought, I'm going to show you these two videos. The thought makes whatever you feel, it will come into reality. That's why it is better to be good, see good, do good. So with this, I'm going to share this video. I think some network issue. I can stop my video to improve the quality of the video. Just 1 minute. So I can stop the video before sharing. This is booting just for 1 minute. Okay, I can show you, I think, video later because of this technical issue. Right. John Locke, born August 29th, 1632, here Rington, Somerset, England, died October 28th, 1704, High Levo, Essex. Is an English philosopher. What Professor Chennai sir already mentioned, he born in England, but he's settled in USA, and he motivated many people to fight against injustice and French Revolution and even the American Revolution. So this is simply about John Locke. His autobiography also, John Locke. Who was John Locke? I think, okay, when time permit, I can show you these videos before going. Otherwise, just 1 minute, because this is very interesting. Because of this I can refresh, just closing the other things. Sir, am I audible, sir?
Audible, Amresh sir. Audible.
Okay,
Very
sir.
clear.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Right. All mankind being all equal and independent, no one ought to harm another in his life, health, liberty, or possession. Just some technical issues, sir. Only 1 minute. Because computer is on 2 p.m. onwards continuously. Right. Actually, I supposed to use two systems, one for as a host, one for as a presenter, but we are always doing with the single system. It's okay, no problem. Sir, you just continue, sir. I will restart my computer once. Please continue, sir. Chennai, sir.
Are you listening, Amresh sir?
Yes, sir, I am listening. Just you continue, sir. 5 minutes. I will restart my system again.
Okay, Amresh sir. So here, in the John Locke's philosophy, we find relating with the right of life, a right of freedom, a right of property. So here, what type of right? So here he said, wealth is the most important thing on the basis of hard work. Don't earn anything without having any hard work. Do something. So you have to earn anything on the basis of your work only. Don't depend on anybody. Don't be a slave. Don't be a beggar. Have a energy. Do something. Earn something. Here about life. What do you mean by life? Life is based on freedom. Life is have a relations with nature, live comfortable manner. You have no same life again. You are moving in the universe moment to moment with different births and deaths. So that's why this is a rare birth to you. Live moment to moment. Don't postpone anything for tomorrow or anything. So if you miss this moment, you may miss everything. That's why live with a peaceful manner. So he said, relating with life, love should be there in the component of life. Whenever you are living, whenever you are moving, don't move without love. Means here, love means relating with the human beings, sharing and giving, not expecting, not harming, not depending. So here, John Locke is telling about the love. So this love is relating with aloneness. This love is relating with balance. When you have a dependence, possessiveness, ownership, addiction with the people, the men relating the men relating with women, they have a addiction, then we don't find flowering of life. Be free, have awareness. So in his life, one of that is maybe a 200 years back, 300 years back, it has happened. So he has so there was a quarrel between John Locke and John Locke's wife. So why you have given a kidney to your father? So I said, I have a love and compassion. On the basis of love and compassion, kidney to other incident. So here you see, nature should be your partner. Your life depends upon the qualities of the nature. So if you are missing the relation with the nature, you are destroying yourself. So protect your nature. If you are destroying nature, means you are destroying yourself. You are protecting the nature. Protect the rights of the food. So he has a very alternative things also in the nature, the foods, the seeds, the various types of things. So if a human being is doing killing other animals and all the living creatures in the nature, that means he is creating imbalance. So the imbalance may affect imbalance to the human being. That's why so if you are very cruel to other living creatures in the nature, naturally here and hereafter, any time human being may face consequences from the other living creatures. They have their own powers. They may come with a virus manner. They have come with a different manner. That's why have a balance. So maintain respect. So don't kill any trees. Don't spoil any oceans. Don't destroying the nature. So your life is temporary, your life is eternal. But this body life is a temporary. So you may enter this body, that is the birth. You may leave this body, is a death. So you may have many births and deaths in the universe. But at a present birth, everything, love should be there. So here in the human being life, the modern world, the state and the pull. So so he said so he revolted against a dictatorship or a tyranny or a bad way of life. So he said freedom. So man has come with the world with the freedom. He has to live with the freedom. He has to live from this world with the freedom. Freedom is a birthright of every human being. If he has no freedom, that is not at all a life. So here he is telling a life without freedom is just like a flower without any fragrance. In the same manner, you have to protect your freedom. So, for that, you as contract theory. So they contract between the people and the government. The government is not unlimited; it is a limited. The people, the government should function on the basis of the people. If they have no consent or a happiness on the government, they alter the government, veto the government. That's why they have a great power. So people have a great power. So if people have no great power, then the dictators may kill people, they may destroy people, they may create wars. That's why don't give any powers to any organization, any government, any institution. He is telling you have to follow rules and regulations of the nature. At the same time, you have to follow rules and regulations of the human laws. So here you have to respect other people in the society. You have to love the people, help people, share people. After all, it is a life. In the life, your sharing should be a blessing for others. That's why shares good other people should be your way of life. Helping should be your way of life. So here your life should be based on happiness. And everything. You take mind, you will get. You take the concept, you have something of mind. So you will be very beautiful and fragrance oriented. So if you create bad things, harmful things, negative things, weeds, then there is a no happy environment in the garden. In the same manner, you have a beautiful thoughts relating with love, humanity, compassion, cosmos. The law is in the human being's life. If you share your love, compassion, cooperation, helping, giving human beings, you may get giving from the upward. Same level, if you have performed good actions in the form of nice things, love, affection, you may get just like a rain from the sky. So if you have done any bad things, the violence, the war, the destruction, the unhappiness, the all harmful things in the world, you may get just like a war. You may face the violence, the murdering situations, the bombing, the terror outlook, the evil things. So if you contribute very nicely to the world, you may get blessings just like a rain from the clouds. If you have performed wrong things, you may get very nearby wars and destruction, bombing, violence, and everything. That's why be careful. Life should be very balanced. You should not use your mind for negative things. Otherwise, there is a danger for your life. He's telling the cosmic relation. So human being has a relation with the state. At the same time, he has a relation with the nature. He has relationship with God. So he's omniscient, all pervading. So he is a great consciousness. So if you are doing good things, you may get reward. God, appointments are laying with your life. That's why be careful. There must be heavy transparent. That's why you have to farm very carefully. So here the Locke is like at the individual level. Nobody is higher. Nobody is lower than you. So here is saying the uniqueness of human being. The human being has to understand, don't give authority to anybody in the world. That's why there is no there is no person in you. So you are not giving any hierarchy. If you are comparing your life, you are going to destruction. Comparison is harmful in life. So if you are to compare good politician, good position, better position, or you are superior test, inferior test. You are a beautiful person, some more beautiful or less people. So if you are something, then you may have more comparison. So if you have a money, some people have more money than you, some people have less money to you. So you have a energy, some people have more energy and some people have less energy. In the life, don't compare anything. So according to John Locke, live with uniqueness. You may have comparison. You will read in your mind, then there is no comparison. When there is no comparison, that's why live without having any comparison. So for that, you need uniqueness. So here he is telling the human being has a great characteristics of constant while walking, while acting anything, be careful. Be watchful. If you are watching, it's light. If you are watching means if you are watching is very action means you may do some bad things. That's why expressing your words, don't just like a light in the darkness. So if you are talking with watching, then you won't do any errors or mistakes. So when you are watching, you may get more understanding. Watching leads to awareness. Watching leads to wisdom. Watching is a great intelligence to you. Don't miss any watching. Watching should be your instrument throughout your life. So learning should be there. Learn moment to moment from people, from ideas, from nature, from
Sir,
cosmos,
thank you, sir.
for everybody. Don't postpone anything. Amresh sir, please move. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much,
Welcome,
sir.
Amresh.
So you're really a walking encyclopedia, sir. At any moment, any time, anything you can speak. Really, we are grateful to you from bottom of my heart, sir. Otherwise,
Thank you,
the
sir.
program is
Thank
not
you.
in a position. Thank you very much. Now we will overcome your obstacles in your success. How to overcome? Just I restarted my
Yes.
system. That's why it took time. So I'm requesting
Yes,
all
Amresh,
our
sir.
participants, if you have any program, you can utilize Professor Chennai sir services also. So many HRDCs they are inviting.
Give freedom, Amresh sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Once, a monk went to river to drink water. After drinking water, he lay down by riverside, resting on his head on stone. Just then, a group of women came to fill water from river. Seeing monk resting, one of them said, "Huh, Even after renouncing everything and becoming a monk, he could not leave need for a pillow. Even if it is of stone, he kept it under his head as pillow. Monk heard those words and instantly threw that stone away. Seeing this, another woman said, "He became monk, but still gets angry. Look, in anger, he threw away that stone." After listening to her, monk thought to himself, "What should I do?" Just then, third woman said, "This is a riverside. Women like us will keep coming here to fetch water and will say one or other things. If you get influenced again and again by their words, then when will you practice meditation?" Listening to this, fourth woman said very beautiful and wonderful thing. She said, "Forgive me to say this, but I think you left everything, but you were not able to leave your ego. So far, it remains same, because you are reacting after every comment due to your ego. Just ignore whatever the word says. You just keep concentrating on your meditation." The monk understood that, and after that, he did not bother about what anyone said about him and went on to practicing meditation. If we see in our lives, then we will find that people say a lot of things when we move towards our goal. They often try to drag us backwards. And the truth is that it is people's job to say one or other thing. If we keep getting influenced by what they say or react to them after listening to their words, then we will deviate from our goal. Therefore, when you move towards your goal, don't look at what people say. You just turn deaf and blind to their words. Just ignore to people's word and keep your full attention towards your goal. Only then you can achieve your goal.
Yeah, very nice video, because in general we also what the neighbors are thinking, what our colleagues are thinking, what my scholars or students are thinking. So better, please always think about your goal. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. So thought is very important. Just I will show 2-3 minutes only.
Once upon a time, Gautam Buddha and his disciples were passing through a forest. After walking for a long time, Buddha's disciples asked him, "Lord, can we rest for some time?" Buddha said, "Sure, why not? See, there is a big tree. We can rest under its shade." Buddha and all his disciples went under that big tree and sat down. Buddha's disciples said to Buddha, "O Lord, once you told us that all that we are is the result of what we have thought. Please explain this statement in detail." Buddha said, "Sure, for this I tell you a story. Listen carefully." And then Buddha started telling a story. And the story goes like this. Once upon a time, there lived a very rich merchant in a town. He had no shortage of wealth, but still he would always keep thinking about amassing more wealth. Once a guest came to see him. The rich man welcomed his guest and treated him very well. While both of them were having talks, the guest said to merchant, "Sir, do you know that in our city there lived a very rich man like you? He was also rich and noble person just like you." The rich man asked, "Why are you saying he was? Where he is now?" The guest said, "I am saying he was because he is no more. He was so busy in earning money that he forgot that one day death will also come to him. And one day he died." Rich man asked him curiously, "What happened to him? What led him to death?" The guest said, "He was absolutely fine. Suddenly, one day while sitting, he fell down and when checked, he was dead. The rich merchant said, "How can someone die like this? He must be having some disease." The guest said, "No sir, he was absolutely right. But when someone's end time comes, person can die suddenly." The rich man was surprised to hear this from his guest, because till now he used to think that death either come in old age or due to some disease. Since rich man was quite young and he did not want to die in young age. The next day, that guest leaves his house, but the things said by him keeps going on in mind of rich merchant. He starts thinking that, like that another merchant, he can also die suddenly at any time. He used to think about earning money all the time, but now he started thinking about death all the time. Day and night, only one thing seems to haunt him, that he should not die. He started thinking, what will happen if I die now? As time passes, the merchant became very weak with the worry of dying. Now, neither he eats properly, nor does he feel hungry. He just keeps thinking about death, and because of this worry, he falls ill. His condition worsened to such an extent that he could die at any time. Everyone was surprised to see such condition of that rich man, because everyone had seen him very happy. He had no shortage of wealth. Now that merchant would not go anywhere. He would keep lying at bed only. Once, a monk came to his town. A friend of rich man takes monk to rich man after requesting him. He tells rich man to share his problem to that wise monk. That monk asked the merchant, "What happened? I saw you few months ago. You were completely healthy at that time. How did you become so weak? What are you worried about?" The rich man said to that monk, "O wise one, I don't want to die. I want to live. I am afraid I might die." That monk said, "Oh, so you are afraid of death?" The rich man said, "Yes, if I die, who will use this wealth of mine? I don't want to die." The monk smiled and said, "Don't worry, I will solve your problem." The rich man gets very happy and says to that monk, "O wise one, please solve my problem. I shall be very grateful to you." The monk said, "I give you mantra. You have to recite this mantra in your mind and with your mouth all the time. And the mantra is, I will live happily until I die. Just keep reciting this mantra. I will come after 7 days."
Right.
And then
So he practiced like that, and he no need to worry about the death always. That's why be happy, whatever we. So John Locke already mentioned, born August 29th, 1632, Rington, here Somerset, England, and died October 28th in 1704, High Level, Essex, English philosopher whose work lie the foundation of modern philosophical empiricism. Edanapudi Hemalata madam already mentioned, and political liberalism. So political philosophy expert and for. So here John Locke. Who was John Locke? If you want to know, just within 3 minutes, 2 minutes.
Welcome to the Essential Ideas of John Locke. One of the first people to start building the foundations for the free societies we live in today was John Locke. Locke was born in 1632 in Rington, a village in England. His ideas laid the foundation for classical liberalism, which would become increasingly prevalent in Western countries. From 1667 through the early 1680s, Locke acted as a physician and intellectual aide to the Earl of Shaftesbury. Around 1679 to 1680, Locke drafted one of his most influential works, the Two Treatises of Government. Locke's two treatises argued for radical limits on the authority of the state, limiting the function of government to the narrow protection of people's rights to life, liberty, and estate. Locke fled to Holland in 1683 due to his association with Shaftesbury and his counterparts and their continued opposition to Charles II. While in Holland, he composed a letter concerning toleration, which is one of the great landmark essays in defense of religious toleration. Locke returned to England after the Glorious Revolution of 1688, which installed the more liberal regime of William and Mary. In 1689, the two treatises was published. He also published his A Letter Concerning Toleration around this time. Locke remained concerned about persecution, so these works were published anonymously. Locke's insights into the nature of a just government and the nature of freedom established the foundation for a radically different political philosophy. His writings influenced many thinkers and scholars, including Voltaire, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, the Scottish Enlightenment thinkers, and the American revolutionaries. Classical liberalism, as it became known, became a revolutionary force in the Western world in the 18th and 19th centuries and remains influential to this day. For more information on John Locke, visit essentialjohnlocke.org. And to learn about more essential scholars.
Right. So you very nicely mentioned about John Locke here, the NBC News, John Locke, Natural Rights.
The Great Question of All Ages, John Locke wrote in 1689, has been not whether there be power in the world, nor whence it came, but who should have it. Locke was one of the most influential philosophers of the Enlightenment, whose revolutionary ideas would influence the 18th century's greatest political experiment, the American government. Born in 1632, Locke lived through one of the most volatile times in England's history, with civil war, religious intolerance, and the awakenings of intellectual and scientific thought stirring up controversy. Educated at Oxford, Locke became acquainted with scholars, scientists, and nobility, including the Earl of Shaftesbury, who introduced Locke into political circles during the restoration of Charles II, and would influence Locke's political ideas. Locke opposed absolute monarchy and the theory of divine right of kings. In his influential work, Two Treatises on Government, Locke argued against the theory and offered an alternative idea on how and why a government is formed. To understand political power, wrote Locke, it must be recognized that people are born with. Locke stated that people form social contracts in order to protect their rights, agreeing with other men to join and unite into a community, and by their consent, create a legitimate government to act according to their will. Locke thought no government can have a right to obedience from a people who have not freely consented to it. If, after a long train of abuses, prevarications, and artifices, the government fails in its duty, the people could withdraw consent and endeavor to put the rule into such hands which may secure to them the ends for which government was first erected. A century later, the enlightened sparks of John Locke's philosophy were aflame in the American colonies. Thomas Jefferson and other leaders of the American Revolution were inspired by Locke's arguments for natural rights, the consent of the governed, and the right to throw off a tyrannical government, all ideas reflected in the Declaration of Independence. Other theories of Locke's, including the separation of power and the separation of church and state, would find their way into the framing of the U.S. Constitution. For the first time, a government would be formed to protect the unalienable rights of the people, with power granted by the people and offering political redress for the people. And the answer to the great question of the ages, who should have the power? As Locke wrote, this doctrine of a power in the people is the best fence against rebellion.
Very nice videos. All mankind being all equal and independent, no one ought to harm another in his life, health, liberty, or possessions. So it is our duty always protect your rights, at the same time protect others' rights also. You don't have right to harm anybody. Everyone have here natural rights. Reading here furnished the mind only with materials of knowledge. It is thinking that makes what we read ours. So simply we can know yourself, know thyself. Self-learning is very, very important. No man's knowledge here can go beyond his experience. In education, we always teaching in such a way that whatever you are learning, it is based on your previous knowledge and past experience. So John Locke mentioned the same thing. whatever loss ends, tyranny begins. Professor Chennai sir already mentioned this one. John Locke on education will allow please at least 5 to 7 minutes to take extra time. This is very, very important. John Locke on this special occasion of International Human Rights Day. Okay.
During a time when the church controlled what people could believe and the kings ruled over what people ought to own, John Locke, an English doctor, popularized 3 ideas that changed society and parenting forever. First, people keep fighting over their beliefs because nobody can actually know which one is true. To solve this problem, everyone should have freedom of thought and the right to choose their own religion. Second, kings can't just do as they please because people have natural rights to liberty, property, and life, and hence need to be asked for permission. Third, parents should avoid punishing their children, since the use of emotions to make them behave well can make them sensationalist. Instead, they should allow their children to be guided by thoughts. Locke's ideas on religion and democracy became the foundation of most liberal societies.
Right. See, it is better never punish any student. Love is the only, that's why the RT, right to education, also in the government of India, so punishment is abolished. Revolt is the right of the people. This is just, I told Bala Gangadhara Tilak, right is my birthright. He was also influenced by John Locke only. All men by nature are equal in that equal right that every man hath to his natural freedom without being subjected to the will or authority of any other man, being all equal and independent. No one ought to harm another in his life, health, liberty, or possessions. So this is already mentioned. So you don't have any right. A sound mind in a sound body is a short but full description of a happy state in this world. He that has these two has little more to wish for, and he that wants either of them will be little the better for anything else. In detail, we can go in another slide. Every man has a property in his own person. This nobody has a right to but himself. So property rights, even the Constitution of India has provided property rights equally for both male and female. I have always thought the actions of men the best interpreters of their thoughts. So in the video of Buddha also the same thing. Government has no other end but the preservation of property. So now also the civil rights we are calling, and is the duty of the state government to protect law and order. New opinions are always suspected and usually opposed without any other reason but because they are not common. The end of law is not to abolish or restrain, but to preserve and enlarge freedom. For in all the states of here created beings capable of law, where there is no law, there is no freedom. So law is essential. That law is also to protect the freedom on the special occasion of International Human Rights Day. Freedom, dignity, and justice for all. All wealth is the product of labor. So their work is very, very important. Even Mahatma Gandhi said, wealth without work is a sin. So all wealth is the product of labor. The only defense against the world is a thorough knowledge of it. Parents wonder why the streams are bitter when they themselves poison the fountain. So it is very, very important. The discipline of a desire is the background of character. So Mahatma Gandhi also mentioned wealth is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. Character is lost, everything is lost. The discipline of a desire is the background of character. We are born to be if we please rational creatures, but it is use and exercise only that makes us so. The reason why men enter into society is the preservation of their property. So they are giving more importance to labor and property. There are 1,000 ways to wealth, but only one way to heaven. So it's only truth. To love our neighbors as ourselves is such a truth for regulating human society that by that alone one might determine all the cases in social morality. But unfortunately, what is even I came from a village, in general, we don't have a good relationship with our own neighbors. Always fighting, always quarreling. This type of things are commonly, not only in villages, even cities also I observed. So, where all is but dreams, reasoning and arguments are of no use, truth and knowledge nothing. So, where all is but dream, reasoning and arguments are of no use, truth and knowledge nothing. So, long discourses and philosophical readings at best amaze and confound, but do not instruct children. So children natural, so they have their own abilities, better to allow them to grow in their own way. Revolt is the right of the people, already I mentioned. Few men think at all will have opinions, hence men's opinions are superficial and confused. To prejudge others' men's notions before we have looked into them is not to show their darkness, but to put out our own eyes. All men are liable to error. Is a human man, is a mankind. Always no single person in this world without doing any error or mistake. And most men are in many points by passion or interest under temptation to it. It is easier for a tutor to command than to teach. So this is a common. In general, we can give suggestions, advices, but in practice, what Dipalata Gupta ma'am is asking regarding humanity and values and other things, many educational institutions teacher can teach but never follow in their real life. That's why the society is not in a position to give great respect to teachers. The only fence against the wall is a thorough knowledge of it. The improvement of understanding is for two ends. First, our own increase of knowledge. Secondly, to enable us to deliver that knowledge to others. Professor Chennai sir, in the delivering keynote address, 14th International Conference on Human Rights Education, the 21st century, mentioned learning is the root cause. Learning is the main source to deliver. If you are not learning, it is not possible to deliver nicely. Who lies for you will lie against you. Please, this one always remember in your life. Who lies for you will lie against you. I close my eyes at the end of the presentation. Take a deep breath. Professor Chennai sir mentioned meditation is very, what is observation, meditation, and let it out completely along with my soul. What a wonderful. So these are all my myself and Dr. Swatasni Gogoi, madam. Thank you for your extra time. Now over to Professor Chennai sir before going to deliver a vote of thanks and sharing feedback form. Over to you, sir.
Congratulations to Amresh sir. Very nice, very good words. Huh? Very good
Sir,
words.
thank you very much, sir.
So actually, I was walking in front of my house. Suddenly, near the main road, I have spoken that talk. So
Okay.
very good, Amresh sir. So from roadside, I have given a talk. So again, I have come from my
Thank
home.
you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. But I like
So-
revolt is the right of the people of John Locke. Really, it attracted my attention, sir. Even Balagangadhara Tilak also may be influenced by John Locke after learning English education.
Yes, actually, this English language, the English language has helped for India and freedom fighters and constitution makers to frame very effectively constitution. At the same time, All languages of humanity is relating with humanity. So every language is ours. So every human being is our ancestor and our family. Ours is the human family. So English also our language. So it is relating with the human family. So those who have learned English, they have developed a lot. They have visited foreign countries. They have contributed a lot. Because of English language, literature, philosophy, our freedom fighters got great energy, many things. That's why they have contributed a lot. So through John Locke, we got, so while I have given the name, so immediately you have shown the importance of slaying revolt is the right of all people. We got great inspiration while seeing his quotation. So he's you saw the one quotation, those who lie to you, he will lie to against you, and that means who is giving lies to you, so he may give lies against you. So this is also one of the, just now I have seen your screen. So wonderful,
Yes.
Amresh sir, congratulations. So we are enjoying
sir.
with a good, we are enjoying with the beautiful words. We are enjoying with questions and answers. We are enjoying with the sharing good ideas. So we are enjoying with the work and sharing good things. So these are very useful for humanity. That's why we are enjoying. Thank you, Amresh sir. Very good.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Really, we are grateful to Professor Chennai sir for a wonderful keynote address and timely helping whenever we needed. So, bottom of my heart, I am expressing my gratitude to my own guru. So that's why Guru
Thank you,
Brahma,
Amresh
Guru
sir.
Vishnu, Guru Deva, Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat, Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Really, I am very grateful to you, sir. I am having a guru like you.
Thank you, Amresh sir.
Most welcome, sir. I'm happy to express my gratitude to Professor Prabhasankar Sukla, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor NEHU, Professor Raja Reddy, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor Sri Venkateswara University, Dr. Nagarajasri Madam, Dr. Vijay Bhaskar, sir, for uploading flyers. Professor Mithali Kaur ma'am, Dr. Rajan Prasad Bhattakur sir, Dr. Swatasini Gogoi madam from Moran College, Professor Mipun sir, ISTD, Professor Dikshit sir, IQAC director, all the participants and Hema madam and Pavan sir and other regular participants, new participants, scholars, teachers, students, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm expressing my gratitude and see you again on 13th December 12th Doctoral Research International Conference
Amresh
at 5
sir.
p.m. Yes, sir.
Amresh sir, 13th means Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Tuesday, sir.
You announce Tuesday 13th because sometimes if you tell Tuesday 13th, that may be an effective memory for them.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Amresh.
Tuesday, 13th December at 5 p.m. Thank you very much, sir. Now, national anthem. Immediately, I can share feedback form. You will get your certificate.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय जय जय
Jai Hind, thank you. Please submit your feedback form. Yeah, just I shared. Please submit. YouTube viewers also, please submit. YouTube viewers, please submit feedback form. Those who are online, please submit. Sir, I don't know who is not received 158 759. It is better. I am requesting always, instead of number, you can keep your name, but I don't want to respond to you, sir. You are again and again joining through your account number only. Is it wrong to expose your name? I don't want to respond to you, sir. 158, 759, 9968. This is not right way. I'm already mentioned so many times. Because of security reason, we need a name of the participant. Again and again, you are joining with a number. If you get, it's okay. If you don't get, I'm not responsible. Here, two numbers are there: 26411859953. Please, it is up to you. If you get, okay. If you don't get, I don't want to any suggestion, any assistance. If you are not cooperating us, no need to cooperate to you also. Already certificate generated and sent, sir. Please check your mail nicely. Here I have proof. See, already certificate generated. Patel Pratima Madam Ji, see, already your certificate generated. You are telling not received. Already generated. Please check your mail. No error, nothing. Please, it is working. You check it. Thank you. I think all are submitted. If you don't, I am going to resend again all the certificates. Those who filled only, they will get. Even though it is generated, but I don't know what is any error for you. But I'm going to resend again for